Coming up on City Spotlight, we are talking Mattoon. In the first segment, we'll talk with Ed Dowd, Executive Director of the Mattoon Chamber of Commerce. We'll talk about Mattoon in Motion, plus new economic developments in downtown Mattoon and at the Cross County Mall, and a look ahead to 2019 in Mattoon. Then we'll talk higher education with Lakeland College President Dr. Josh Bullock about Lakeland's new strategic plan and physical changes for Lakeland College. We are focusing on the latest going on in Mattoon here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. We're back in the studio of WEIU after a handful of on-location episodes, and today we are talking Mattoon. And we welcome back to the program for this first segment Ed Dowd. He's the Executive Director of the Mattoon Chamber of Commerce. Great to see you again, Ed.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to talk about Mattoon. A lot of great things happening.
Excellent. We are taping here 2 weeks before Christmas, so early Happy Holidays to you.
Oh, thank you. Happy holidays to you, too.
Excellent. There's a lot of stuff that just recently has transpired in Mattoon, so we're going to talk about that here off the bat. But first, let's talk Mattoon in Motion. Tell us about that, please.
Yeah, Mattoon in Motion's been going on a little over a year now. It's just a way for the entire community. We have 80 community members who are passionate about how are we going to help Mattoon progress into the future. And we've done a lot of things going on. We have a program that I think you're going to talk about a little bit with Lakeland College and LSC Communications, which is going to be Quad Graphics. They've got a program where if you go through a 9-week course, 9-week course, you can guarantee a job out at Lakeland. We need these. We need the people to be able to get jobs, and we need to fill the jobs that are currently existing. Another thing with Mattoon in Motion, we secured a Peace Corps fellow through the Peace Corps program. His name is Carlos Ortega. He's doing a great job. He's helping us with economic development, and he's also helping us with, we have an innovation center. And I know we talked a little bit about that. We're looking to have a place where people can go, kind of like an incubator, where startup businesses, even mom and pops who are at home and just need a place to go to have a business address, to be able to go when the kids are in bed and do their work and talk to clients and things. So it's going to be a 24/7 access center. It's going to be at the mall. Rural King has been gracious about donating the space, so it's real exciting. There's a lot of parts in motion for it. It's going to be a very exciting thing. So a lot of good stuff with Mattoon in Motion.
Yes, and we're going to reference the mall because there's quite a bit on the horizon for the mall.
Absolutely.
Now and moving forward, obviously.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a one kind of, I have never heard of one of these before. This is kind of a very unique thing for Mattoon to have there, and obviously in the mall.
Yes. Yeah, there are some incubators. There are some places like this in Champaign, Decatur. There are innovation centers where startup businesses can kind of collaborate and work together. But we're hoping to really be the one south of Champaign going south. We're going to be the one that's going to generate the support and try to get the young entrepreneurs to stay in our community and grow and build their businesses there. The unique thing about ours is the mall has always, had some areas that just haven't been able to be filled. And this is one of those areas that's been vacant for about 8 years now. And this is a space that Rural King, since they bought the mall, has said, we're going to give back to the community. We're going to let you guys use this space, utilize it for this incubator, for these startup businesses. So it's just a great partnership, and we're very excited about it.
Stay right there at the Cross County Mall.
Yes.
Today is a Tuesday. Yesterday, Monday, December 10th, Scotty's Brew House opened in the mall. Tell us about Scotty's Brew.
Yeah, Scotty's Brew House. It's a craft brewery. A craft brew house, and they have, I was saying, they have like 30 different beers on tap. It's going to be huge. It's a great food. They have, it's even kid-friendly, but they have food from, hamburgers on up to steaks and things like that. One exciting thing, they're going to have a patio out in front of the mall during the summer. They have an awning, and it's going to be, so there's going to be, seating outside. So that's something unique to the mall that the mall will have. Very exciting, very energetic, very exciting opportunity for Scotty's Brewhouse. So
The start of some hopefully great things coming to the mall.
absolutely.
That opened yesterday, and they also have a location in Champaign, so they have a footprint in Central Illinois.
Yes, they do. And then in the next few months, I think it's March that they're planning on actually moving the Rural King store out to the mall. So that'll be another traffic drawer, and it's very exciting that Rural King is not only investing in the mall as an owner, they're investing it as a retailer. So that's going to be an easier way for them to attract other retailers, because they're going to say, wow, you're willing to invest in the mall. Why don't we invest in the mall? So I think you're going to be seeing it filling up very quickly. So we're very excited about that.
As in our next segment, talking with Dr. Josh Bullock, you and Dr. Bullock were on an episode around this time last year, and
yes,
we were just finding out about the changes to the mall and Rural King moving over.
Correct.
Sometimes things take a little time to happen, but now we're going to see a lot of changes to the mall in 2019.
Absolutely.
You and a lot of residents in Mattoon have to be extremely excited.
Oh, very excited, because as you know, a lot of malls are kind of declining, where ours is starting over. It's going to be thriving. So we're just thrilled of what's going to occur in the next year. There's going to be a lot of changes at the mall. We're very excited about it.
So Rural King's main area will be over in the former Sears
Correct.
portion of the mall.
Correct.
All right, very good. There are some other changes that recently happened over in that neck of the woods. Also yesterday, Monday, December 10th, an announcement on the Taco Bell will be moving closer to the interstate.
Yeah, Taco Bell decided that they think that they'd have better luck possibly closer to the interstate, where they'd get more interstate traffic. Plus, their location is a little tricky to get into. Their drive-through is a little tricky. But what that's going to do is open up more opportunities for other restaurants, small restaurants, fast food restaurants to open up. So we're very excited about those possibilities too, to have one. And they're going to have a lot of customers once Rural King moves out there, Scotty's and other potential retailers. So I don't think it's going to stay empty long. I think it'll be filled up very quickly.
Probably not. You can't miss that location right there with all those roads as you enter the mall.
Absolutely.
Also, a building that was of a former business there by the interstate, and we now have Rent-X.
Yes, Rent-X. Yeah, it used to be Aaron's, and Aaron's was more for the consumer. They had the TVs, the beds, the furniture, things like that, where Rent-X is more for the industry. So if industries need, a big piece of equipment or something like that, they're going to be the ones who are going to offer those things to rent. So it's just a little bit of a change, more from more from small consumers to large consumers. So but similar concept, yes.
Exciting stuff happening over near the interstate. So let's move on over toward downtown Mattoon. We have some exciting things happening there.
Yes.
Tell us about the changes to the Sears Hometown store, please.
Yes, Sears Hometown. The young owners, Tanner Croning, they decided that they were having a little bit of struggles with getting product in timely manners, with Sears having their issues. So, they were taking 4 to 6 week lead times. And some people, if you need a dishwasher, you don't need it 4 weeks from now, you need it today.
Right.
So what they decided is, hey, we're going to start our own, and they've already got partnerships with a lot of the major, the LGs, the Whirlpools, the Samsungs. So they've already got relationships built, and by early next year, they're going to have their own shop, and they're going to be selling their own goods, through their own company, so that they can control more of the inventory and get it to the people faster. So, the very young family, very energetic, and we're very excited for them.
And that Hometown store just opened about 3 years ago.
Correct.
So it's good to hear that it will still be there.
Correct.
Maybe with a different name and everything.
Yeah, it's good to see when businesses are leaving, some new businesses are coming in, or existing businesses are taken back over. So it's not like we're having empty storefronts, which is great.
Physically, it will still be there.
Absolutely.
Tell us about a couple other things. We have a frozen yogurt store.
Yes, Culture Frozen Yogurt, and it's kind of funny. The exact same family who owns the Sears Hometown, his wife actually, Haley Croning, she's the owner of it, and they formerly was in Effingham, and the business owners decided to close that business. They were retiring, and so they said, why don't we move this to Mattoon? We don't really have a frozen yogurt, so it's very exciting, and it's right there next to Casey Summers off of 19th Street. Very exciting. They have a lot of great delectable delights, so check it out.
Can't miss that area over there, Casey Summers. A lot of shiny buildings over there.
Yes.
Tell us about the Mattoon Flower Shop also.
Yeah, Mattoon Flower Shop. They used to be in a really tricky location. They were off the beaten path, off of Marshall Avenue, and it was hard to get to them and hard to see them. And it was an older building that actually was having trouble because there was a coal mine under it, and part of their greenhouse actually sank. So they said, we need to get more front-facing, more open to the public. So now they are downtown Mattoon, right next to the former Book Nook, and a beautiful building. If you get a chance, you got to check it out. And they're very excited. Again, another young couple. It's great to see young people investing in the community, and a young couple, and they're really working hard to help improve downtown. So it's very exciting.
A couple minutes left here with you, Ed. Appreciate your time today, and let's talk about expanding Just Right Manufacturing there off County Road 100 North.
Yeah, 1000 North. Yeah, Just Right Manufacturing. They had a small warehouse where they were holding their goods and services and shipping from. It was about 75,000 square feet. They are expanding so much, they bought their two biggest competitors nationwide, and they said, we need more space. So they're actually purchased another existing building next to them that is 175,000 square feet. So it's great to see a local business expanding their footprint, and they're going to be taking over that warehouse. So very exciting news.
We've touched upon many things that have just recently happened and or will carry over into taking place in 2019. We also have LSC Communications, formerly R.R. Donnelly's. Big changes potentially coming for them in 2019.
Correct. They got bought out by Quad Graphics, which they were the two, R.R. Donnelly's and Quad Graphics were, again, two big competitors, and they bought them out. LSC, the company, will no longer exist. It'll be part of Quad Graphics. So they are going to be Quad Graphics, and but there is no change. They plan on staying, as far as I know, and they plan on continuing the efforts with Mattoon in Motion with the students at Lakeland College and getting them jobs and things. So, it's a great company. They're doing great things out there. So we're very happy to see that it sounds like they're going to stay. So very good.
Roughly nearly 700 employees,
Correct.
major employer in Mattoon.
Correct.
Ed, we're seeing all kinds of things moving forward, whether it be near the interstate, the mall, downtown. Mattoon is continuing to grow. From your perspective, chamber director in Mattoon, the future is very bright for Mattoon moving forward into the new year.
Yes, I'm so excited about the new year. Like I said, downtown is, as we've talked about, we visited downtown a few segments ago, and even since you've been there, we've had 5 or 6 new businesses coming. We had just had our Downtown Celebrate Christmas, where we had dozens of lighted floats. We had our Trunk or Treat downtown. Just a lot of exciting things happening in Mattoon, and I am sure that the mall, people are going to be very surprised by all the growth that's going to be happening there. So, there's so many exciting things happening. I can't say enough about how excited I am for our community. So
look forward to catching up with you maybe sooner than a year from now, Ed.
Absolutely.
There's a lot going on, obviously, with the mall and continuing economic development in Mattoon.
Absolutely.
Ed Dowd, the Executive Director of the Mattoon Chamber of Commerce. Pleasure seeing you again, Ed.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll continue this episode on Mattoon. We'll talk about all the latest going on at Lakeland College with the president of Lakeland College, Dr. Josh Bullock. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Mattoon. And we're back here on City Spotlight. This episode on Mattoon, we're going to change gears now and we're going to talk about Lakeland College. And we welcome back to the program the president of Lakeland College, Dr. Josh Bullock.
Ramin, thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you on. It's become an annual thing. Interview you here near the end of the year. We're taping this 2 weeks before Christmas. So
yes.
Happy early holidays to you.
You as well.
Very good. A lot going on at Lakeland recently, and look forward to catching up on 2018 and maybe a peek into what might be happening in 2019. You had a couple things transpire over the summer and a brand new strategic plan, 3-year strategic plan in place at Lakeland. It was in July that it was implemented. Tell us about that, please.
Yes, we're really excited about the new strategic plan. And we are focusing on 2 key focus areas, because one of the things we know about strategic planning is when you have 100 priorities, you have no priorities. So we really wanted to develop a plan that the entire community could wrap themselves around and embrace. It involves two primary areas. The first is guided pathways, which is an initiative that started by the Gates Foundation and the American Association of Community Colleges. And it's really about providing academic pathways that have all the wraparound services in those pathways to help students succeed. So imagine a world where a student comes in, they might have an interest in, say, manufacturing. So they start out in a meta major around technology and manufacturing. And you have chances to explore career opportunities and programs, and you actually funnel them down to the courses that they need in the areas that they find of interest, so say manufacturing. You provide deterministic scheduling for those students so that when a student starts a program, they know that if I stick with this program, I will get all the classes I need to complete that program, and provides a little more structure. It also provides the bookends of making sure that you're addressing all those high school needs, as well as the back end of helping them find employment or transferability to a four-year institution. So we're pretty excited about that focus area. And the second is on data analytics. And much like Amazon and every other organization out there, we all need to do a better job of utilizing data to help our students succeed. And as educational institutions, we have a wealth of data, but we're not always great about using that data on an individualized basis for students to help them become successful or more successful. And so we're really hoping that we can get data systems in place that will allow us to extract the appropriate types of information so that every single individual student, we can have data on that student to make sure that we tailor plans for those students and help them succeed.
It is a numbers game out there, so very much
so.
So look forward to seeing how that pans out over the next couple of years. Some big physical changes coming to Lakeland here, and especially one of the big buildings there on Lakeland, the Luther Student Center. Tell us about the capital campaign, please.
We're really excited. We worked last year with our Board of Trustees on an 8-year capital campaign. And that's to allow us to not only retrofit and update some of our existing buildings, but really add new physical space that we've needed for a while. So the one we're very proud of is the Luther Student Center addition. We are adding nearly 20,000 square feet to that building.
Wow.
And it's a project that's been in the works for 20 years. So in order to make that happen, the administration had to move out of that building. And so we renovated our childcare into our new board and administration center. And we'll be completely renovating the existing Luther Student Center, as well as putting an addition on. And all of that will be really one-stop student services space. So counseling, admissions, student life, the police department, the bookstore, all of these different areas that touch students, financial aid will all be in one location now versus being spread across campus. Along with that, part of the 8-year plan, we are looking at building an additional building in Effingham next to the Cluthy Center. And hopefully not only will that provide programming space for us, but it will house the Effingham Regional Career Academy, which has been a fantastic partnership. We're looking at additional storage space on campus, constructing some space to move our Center for Business and Industry out of our current facility on Richmond into a facility on campus. And that will allow us not only to bring individuals to campus for training, but the ability to share equipment and space and materials. So a lot of good physical changes happening on campus to try to continue to be relevant to our community.
You listed a couple of places there, whether it be on campus there or in Effingham, but I'm seeing is expanding available storage space. That means Lakeland's growing.
We are growing, and with everybody, as we hit the 50-year mark 2 years ago, we've realized we're running out of storage space. We typically, as we've renovated buildings, we've taken a lot of storage space and converted either to classroom space or offices. So we are in desperate need of storage space on campus, and we're looking at somewhere around 6,000 square feet of storage space, climate controlled, to store records and other things that are of value to the college.
Moving right along to things you're collaborating with. One of the great things about this program, we get to talk about the collaborations between cities and different organizations. Tell us about what you're doing with the Effingham Regional Growth Alliance.
Great program with the Effingham Regional Growth Alliance. Craig Nielsen and I, this has been about 2 years ago, we started talking about the need for coding. Coding is everywhere, and what we know is there will be about 1 million unfilled coding jobs in the next 5 years because it's such a growth industry. And so we started meeting with different coding organizations to determine what can we bring to the Effingham area. And we found a great partner in Launch Code. It's an organization out of St. Louis that was started by the founder of Square, the little device that we use for scanning credit cards and such. And so we're one of the exclusive partners with them in the area, and we're offering this training. It's called IT Launch Code, and it's a short-term boot camp style training program that will teach individuals, even those who don't have any computer skills or knowledge, how to code and how to be employable not only for new jobs, but within their own organizations to build their own relevancy within their organization.
And this is something that just got going, and it's on to its next set of classes.
Absolutely. The classes start late January of 2019, the next set.
You mentioned the Regional Growth Alliance there in Effingham. We had Mr. Nielsen on previously here on City Spotlight. Let's talk about your partnership with LSC Communications, obviously formerly known as R.R. Donnelly's.
Yes. Lakeland College is focused as a community college on making sure that our local workforce, our employers have the workforce they need to fill their voids. And a number of months ago, we started working with LSC Communication as they've begun to expand and grow. And we realized they had a shortage of skilled workforce in certain areas. And so we partnered with them to develop a manufacturing, fast-track manufacturing type program that allows us to train workers. And the beauty of the program is, if the workers or if the students complete the program, they are guaranteed a job at LSC Communications. So what a great way for a student to come in, take a short-term training course, have a skill set that leads to ready employment. We're talking sustainable jobs here, $16 to $18 an hour jobs. That's life-sustaining work. And so we encourage more employers to look at not just Lakeland, but their other community colleges, their universities, form those partnerships. We're here to help in whatever way that we can. And we know that program has been successful. We look forward to running the next cohort soon.
We talked about LSC Communications and some possible changes with Ed Dowd in the previous segment. 700 employees there at LSC Communications. A couple months ago, I was on location in Paris and talking with Mayor Craig Smith about a new plastics program that you guys are involved with. So you're in Paris, Illinois. Tell us about that, please.
We have built a new plastics program, the only one of its kind within a 180-mile radius. And in the area that we're in Paris, we know that that area is flooded with individual companies that require skilled technicians in plastics manufacturing. And so when we started to uncover the need, we started to work with the Paris Economic Development Corporation, the City of Paris, to find out how we can address this need. We found some great partners in North American Lighting, in Libman, many of those who work in plastics, and so they've helped us provide equipment, resources, funding. Eastern Illinois University has been a great partner, not only in helping develop the curriculum for the program, but donating equipment. Because all of us realize if we can retain these manufacturers in the area and get them the skilled workforce they need, that's going to be better for everybody. All of us will be more successful if that occurs. So the next class starts in January. Okay. We're excited for that. And again, those technicians will come out and they will have their choice of jobs because that type of a skill set is in such high demand in our area.
And remind folks at home where that is going to be held specifically in Paris there?
It's at the old Paris High School.
That's right, that's right.
We are renting lab space as well as classroom space there and some really cool equipment. If they have a chance to come out and for any of the open houses and just see the equipment operating, it's pretty neat. Great
to see the old Paris High School being used for something, Lakeland College there. I want to ask you a follow-up as my travels through all the different communities here on City Spotlight, and I see Lakeland College in Marshall, in Paris, the reaches of the different communities. You're out east. Why is that important for Lakeland College to be in these different communities that are 30, 45 minutes away from your main campus?
Sure. Most people don't understand we have a 4,000 square mile district, so we cover 15 counties, 53 communities. And so for us, as community is part of who we are and part of our name as a community college, we really need to be visible in those areas and helping those local areas, whether it's incumbent worker training, whether it's programs for students to gain a specific skill set, or whether it's just adult continuing education type programs. We need to be in those communities and visible to make sure that there are opportunities across the entire span of our 4,000 square miles.
Moving right along here in our final few minutes with you, Dr. Bullock, let's reemphasize the work that you guys are doing with the Illinois Department of Corrections and that agreement.
We continue to expand our relationship with the Illinois Department of Corrections. We are now up to 25 facilities that we serve. We have full-time staff in those facilities, faculty as well as associate deans, and that work is so valuable. This year alone we'll educate about 7,500 inmates. And to put it into perspective for the state of Illinois, it costs about $1,400 a year to educate an inmate versus $22,500 to house them. So these are individuals that we know programming reduces recidivism by nearly half. And so if we can get these individuals educated shortly before release, we can get them out into gainful employment where we know those types of positions will hire somebody that has a conviction on their record. And so we're hoping that we can continue to do our part to help reduce recidivism and ultimately benefit the communities we serve, find skilled labor force, and benefit the taxpayers.
That's something we've talked about, I think, your couple of previous times on, so it continues to grow. Very good. Talk about your new President's webpage.
We have a great President's webpage we launched in the fall, and it's not only a way to get information on Lakeland College, but if you subscribe to the webpage or subscribe to emails, you can get monthly emails from me on updates on the college. There's a form out there to come ask me if you want me to participate in a community event or speak at a community event. I would be happy to do that. And we also provide a wealth of data for the community. So there's a lot of data that helps kind of outline what our communities are about and how we're comprised.
Okay, very. Speaking of data, the next thing, data for decision makers. I believe that's a survey that was taken. A lot of great information was gathered. I want to ask you about one of them here in just a second, but tell us about this survey and what did you want to gain from it?
Our goal was really is the breadth of the communities we serve to truly understand what our demographic base looks like, because it changes all the time. And so we partner with the University of Illinois Extension to compile a comprehensive look at the district that we serve. And there were some pretty startling data points in that data. One of them that jumps out to me is that over the last 10 years, not only have we seen a decline in our overall population of those 15 counties, but the population of individuals 18 and under has declined almost 9% during that period of time. And that speaks to the labor shortage we have. And it needs to be our goal as communities to try to find ways to get individuals to move into our communities so we can continue to grow that, so that long term we'll have the labor force needed for our employers to be successful here.
I have a couple of pages here from you on some of the results of that, and one set of results that I maybe ask you about here. You have something about over 50% of the labor force is employed in the areas of manufacturing, healthcare, retail, education. That's an interesting set of numbers to understand, because you're talking about where people are working.
Absolutely, and as we have just talked about, many of the programs we have out there are related to manufacturing, because that is such a large portion of who we are as a district. And healthcare. I know we've talked about our new medical assisting program and how we're expanding that to online and hybrid as well. That helps drive how we offer programming to not only our communities but to our students, because we need to ensure that what we're offering fits the needs of those communities so that there are jobs available when the graduates complete. So for us, understanding that picture helps immeasurably to ensure that we're doing what we need to do for our community.
All right, very good. Look forward to catching up with you in 2019 and maybe coming on location with you at the renovated Luther Student Center.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you out there.
President of Lakeland College, Dr. Josh Bullock. It's been a pleasure having you on City Spotlight again.
Thank you, Ramin.
Thank you so much. And that'll do it for this episode of City Spotlight on Mattoon. We thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.